Awesome. So now we're going to be able to choose our Facebook page name. Now, it seems pretty simple and straightforward, but it's also really, really important because your Facebook name is going to be the most viewed characteristic of your page. That, along with the profile photo, are going to be displayed all throughout Facebook, all throughout your messages, and all throughout your chats. It's basically the text representation of your page. So it is important that we discuss it and we go through some advanced strategies. So make sure you don't skip over this lecture because it is very important. The thing I want to point out before we do jump in is to make sure that you keep in mind your page's purpose and call to action that we went through in the previous lecture, because in every single characteristic and aspect of your page, we want this to be bleeding through, meaning if your page is a support or a chat function for customers to contact you, you want to make sure you consider putting that in your page name. Or if it's a store, you consider putting that in your page name. So I'm going to keep reminding you to make sure you keep that in mind on whatever the purpose of your page is. We want to keep putting that into every single aspect of your page. So a really easy way to do it and a really simple way to do it, and this might be the way for you, is to keep it simple. So you want to use your business or your product name as your Facebook page name. So to go through a few examples with you, really simply, Walmart, use Walmart as their name. GoDaddy, use GoDaddy. And The Honest Company, which is Jessica Alba's company. And I'm going to break down all these companies with you. And we're going to be doing that in the upcoming modules. So I'm excited to jump into that. But for now, we're getting the basic things out of the way. They all just use their brand name or their product name as their Facebook name. Now, the other thing that this does really well is it makes it very searchable. So when someone types in Walmart into the Facebook search bar, they're going to find their product or their brand really, really quickly. However, here are a few variations that you can use, and they may be appropriate for you. So you can consider using your top level domain. So what that is, as you can see in the examples over here on the right, is using the .com add-on. So if your website is australia.com, like you can see this, the tourism industry in Australia, their brand name is actually called See Australia, but on their Facebook page, they've used australia.com because they want to direct traffic to australia.com. And it's a little bit different. If it was just called Australia or See Australia, you might think it's just an Australian fan page and not actually the tourism page of Australia. You can see bodybuilding.com have also added .com on the end, because bodybuilding is a pretty standard name and it could just be a bodybuilding fan page. But by adding .com on the end, they know it's the bodybuilding.com brand out on Facebook. And then the last example I've included here for you is Mike Rashid. So Mike Rashid is actually a bodybuilder, and he's put both his name, Mike Rashid, and his top level domain, so mikerashid.com. So he is coming up when people type in his name, but he's also directing and funneling people to his website, because that is going to be the purpose of his Facebook page. The call to action on his Facebook page is to get you from there to his website. So that's something you can also consider. Now, I want to go through 3 quite advanced strategies, and what I want you to note is I'm not suggesting that you do any of these things. I really just want to open your eyes to show you what other people are doing and to give you ideas that you can potentially test yourself. But I'm not saying this is better than anything, but we're just going to go explore the options together. So a very interesting strategy, and as you'll see once we get into the ads module, this will work very well with ads, is you can do something eye-grabbing. So such as Alex Becker, there's this online internet entrepreneur. His name's Alex Becker. He's also put world's best looking marketer as his name. So his Facebook name, as you can see, is Alex Becker, world's best looking marketer. And when you run ads or when you post something and someone's scrolling through their newsfeed and they see that Alex Becker, world's best looking marketer, they're going to stop and take a second look instead of keep scrolling through, because it's just by Alex Becker, which is just another person's name. So you can do something eye-grabbing like this, especially if you plan to run a lot of ads. You can also do something call to action specific. So like we discussed at the start, if you are a customer support page, you can put in something like Canon printer customer support. And that way, people, when they get onto your page, they know that you are there to help them and support them, and they know the purpose of your page. And they can just click contact us or message us, and I'll show you how to set that up, of course, in this course. Or if you're something like a shop, You can see the second example here is Ruthie Grace. Now, Ruthie Grace is just a shop or a brand name, but her Facebook page is called Shop Ruthie Grace because it's a Facebook page with a shop installed into it. Again, we're going to get into these strategies for you in the upcoming modules, so get excited for that. But right now, you can see she has the call to action inside her Facebook page name, which is Shop Ruthie Grace, which means when someone gets there, they're going to be more likely to look through the products and start shopping on her Facebook page and not just like the page and be a fan of the page. The last one, quite a simple one I want to go through, is a clarification. So we'll go through these two examples together. The first one, there's a brand of games. It's like a PlayStation 4, Xbox sort of brand where they create college lacrosse games. And you can see their name, their username is actually college lacrosse, but their page name is lacrosse video games because they're clarifying that they're not actually the college lacrosse league, but they're the lacrosse, the video game. And the second one is a location clarification. So you can see the Cosmopolitan is a hotel name of Las Vegas. So the Cosmopolitan is a brand of hotels, and they're all around the world and all through the US. And if they just put the Cosmopolitan and someone likes it or tries to interact with it, they are just being a fan of the brand in general. Whereas if you have a specific store or specific location, consider putting that in. Not only will that help coming up for local searches when locals around you search for your brand name, but it'll also help them understand that where you're located is the right one. So they're looking at the right page. So once again, I want to stress, keeping it simple is probably the best way to do it, but if you wanted to dive a little bit deeper and get a little bit tricky or more advanced, you can also add some of these startings and endings to your brand name depending on your page.